myself. So when that bag come, I won't fumble. I'm just stacking on the low, but hey, I'm tired of being humble. Let me get to it. That motivation music. Get control of your life, don't let nobody else do it. Cause I'm not gonna have Metro S550s cruising.
Back. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. You know, I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, you know, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, or even if you just want to outsmart me on something I said, go ahead, shoot us a quick take, 219-413-9405, and we'll play your take back on our next episode. And then shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code The Run Podcast. Now, this code can only be applied for first-time users on the mobile app or website, so I don't know about you, but it's some playoff games here, and I've been wanting to go to, so I had to go ahead and bring in my great friend, Eric Vincent. What's going on with you, man? He's joining me here today. Have to talk about the Pistons in this Knicks series, so what's up with you, Eric, man? What's going on with you, bro?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Happy to be here. It's been an intense series so far. So, yeah, we got a lot to get into, man. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, it is, man. It's been crazy, and I don't plan on holding back at all. I'm jumping straight into it. So I don't really want it to be a Q&A type of thing. I really just want to kick it with you again. You know, we close friends. We talk all the time. So I just want to go ahead. First, man. First thing, you've been going to honor for all of us Pistons fans, and I dearly appreciate it. So I just want to give you the floor real quick as we start the show. And I just want to say, if you got a message to send out to Knicks fans, what's that one thing the Knicks fans just got to hear right now? What is it?
Man, I don't know if it's appropriate for these airwaves, but get over yourselves. Like, honestly, I would rather say a lot more, but the Knicks are at a 3-1 lead right now. It's been a very competitive series. I don't think it's been a blowout either way, even in the first game where the Pistons were up double digits and then the Knicks went on that big 20+0 run. Every game has been competitive. It's been fun. It's been an intense series. And the Knicks fan base on social media, Twitter specifically, is crashing out because Jalen Brunson's being called a flopper and Piston fans are having their own viewpoints about what's going on. I'm a beat reporter for the team at clutchpoints.com, but I'm also a diehard fan of the team. Even if I'm a fan, it doesn't, step over my objectivity and professionalism in my job. But I still feel like I can, represent the fan base to the best of my abilities. And I feel like they have nothing to be ashamed about. Pistons fans, again, they fought all series. It's been a good fight thus far. And I don't really give a damn what the Knicks have to say about what they're saying right now at all.
Hold on, Eric, because you over here, you talking like it's over, bro.
No.
You know, Pistons is 7. Pistons is 7 until it's over with. It's Pistons in 7.
Of course, yeah, it ain't done. I had them in 6. I had them in 6 too, but hey, things happen and it's all good. I ain't gonna lie. Here's what I really think is gonna happen, and it sounds a little crazy, but I need my guy. I need Commissioner Adam Silver to really just show. He's the commissioner of the league, and I need him to do his job, bro. Put some calls in, and I ain't saying you got to cheat, but all I'm telling you right now is that between this Knicks and Pistons series, the league owes us one. The league owes the Pistons one game off of that, bro, because the way Game 4 ended is just unacceptable. I personally couldn't come to terms with it. I still can't come to terms with it because it was unacceptable. I know it was a physical game all game, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with the way it was going on, but when you got to be consistent with the whistle. If you're calling one thing for one player, you got to call it for everybody, bro. And all I think I seen you tweet it actually. It's just like if that happens to Brunson with 3 seconds left, they're blowing the whistle 10 times out of 10 without a doubt. Yep. So I'm like, to me, Commissioner Silver got to give us a game. He got to give us a game. So Game 5, going back to New York, I think that they got to go to Detroit. Game 6, let them play out, whatever. I ain't saying you got to rig nothing, do whatever you got to do. Just let it play out. But the league owes the Pistons at least one game in this series, another game in this series, I should say, for sure. Yeah, I like the way you said, at least be consistent. And that's all I've cared about. I don't even like the narrative where they say, it's more physicality allowed in the playoffs, or superstars are allowed this, or such and such is allowed this. It should be consistent down the line for everybody. So if there are Knicks fans that are upset about Game 2, remember I think where they tied the game
just before the Pistons took the lead back where Josh Hart had the dunk. He gets fouled by Jalen Duren. They had a lot of pushback on that. If you're upset about that, I totally agree and understand. I'm not arguing that at all. I want consistency across the board. You shouldn't be overdoing calls for Brunson. Don't overdo calls for Cade Cunningham. Everything should be consistent across the board. And like you just said, there's no way if Brunson or any other star, it was Cat, whoever else, shoots that shot in the corner that Tim Hardaway shot and they don't blow that whistle. There's no chance that happens. And then you come back with the report afterwards saying, oh, yeah, it should be a foul. What does that do? Like, what is the point of you releasing that if it's not going to change the result of the game? Like, I don't like that at all, bro.
Dog, that's a slap in the face right there. That is just a slap in the face. You missed the call in the game. We trying to get you to look at it, review, do whatever you got to do to just understand you made a mistake and giving them the regulation play. Do something. You had all the chances in the world to fix it. You literally had all the rest of the time. Everybody made a fuss about it on the court. JB Bickerstaff is yelling. Knicks fans celebrating. You had all that time to go back and really fix that call. But you wait 2 hours after the game. You on your plane, safe and secure, to say, you know what, we made a mistake. What good does that do for the Detroit Pistons? What good does that do? You know what? I was like, hell, line everybody up, bring them back to LCA, and let Tim Hardaway Jr. shoot these damn free throws that y'all missed. If you want to admit it now, get him back on the court and let him shoot these damn free throws, and let's see how this game plays out. And that's exactly why I say Pistons deserve at least another game coming into Game 5. I know it sounds soft. I know it sounds like whatever, but nah, bro, the league messed up on that. They admitted that they messed up on that, and there's literally nothing you can do to get that game back. So what do the league need to do? Give them Game 5 in a subtle way. I'll put it that way.
Under the table.
Yeah, just slide it under the table a little bit. So look, that brings me to my thing. Now I'm looking at these games. I've been watching all this series and stuff, and I can't help but to notice out of all the games that the Pistons won, or out of all the games that the Pistons lost, there's been one where they lost more than 6 points. Obviously, they lost Game 1, and that one was by the largest majority. But ever since then, they've lost by less than 6 points. They've been neck and neck. What is it that the Pistons just got to do to close this game out?
They got to find a level of consistency. I mean, even if you go back to the last game, played really bad in the first half up until the end of that second quarter where they really turned it on. I think Tobias had an and one. They got a couple of stops and they really turned up their defensive energy, and they found a lot better cohesive, system on offense as well. Third quarter they played, I think, was probably one of the best quarters they played as a team all season long. And again, I'm gonna be fair and objective. Yes, I think that last shot was terrible, but I'm not gonna, pin it down to that's why they lost the game. You're up double digits. You cannot let Brunson get as hot as he does in the fourth quarter. You cannot let them come back after that third quarter. One thing that they did that really made me mad, and this is something that I think they need to focus on even more. Cat had 4 fouls early in the third, bro, and their game plan was never to attack him. Duren didn't get the ball in the post. You didn't see a lot of drives of them trying to attack him to kind of coax him into that 5th or 6th foul. They kind of just let him, they just play pick and roll basketball, let the guards play at the top, and they didn't attack Cat at all. Like, granted, I know Jalen Duren doesn't really have much of a consistent post-up game, but at that position, you don't need him to score. Just go. Like, the foul is more important than the points at this point. Yeah, go up strong, make him foul you. Like, just go at him, because he was playing timid defensively. There were way too many times. Like, again, even if that happens and you put that pressure on him, maybe he doesn't get that last-second shot where he's shooting from 28 feet away. Like, they just didn't – they let that slide. And I think that was one of the biggest mistakes they made, and that goes to the consistency that they got to find over these last several games.
Yeah, bro, you hit it on the nail with the consistency. The consistency was a big thing in terms of taking care of the ball, which we'll discuss in just a sec. We'll talk about the turnovers in just a second. But ultimately, going at Karl Anthony Towns, I think there was one play I vividly remember where Cade actually was going at Karl Anthony Towns. They ended up calling it, I think they called the foul on somebody else, but he actually went at Karl Anthony Towns, and it seemed like in his mind, it was like, he got 4 fouls. Let me go to him and try and get some contact. Whether obviously he didn't get the whistle, but that was just the one time that I actually remember. I'm like, bet, go at Cat. He's got 4 fouls. Get him out the game. But I think of that and I'm like, okay, all of that, the magical shots and all of that stuff Cat had at the end of the game could have been avoided had they just went at Karl Anthony Towns. And that just makes me think, bro, oh, the basketball guys were with the Knicks. They was with the Knicks in game 4. Because Karl Anthony Towns, I ain't never seen bro hoop like that. Now, he's a great player. He pisses me off. He's annoying to watch because he's fake tough guy, whatever. Karl, he's annoying. He's annoying as hell. But I can't sit on here and say that Karl Anthony Towns is not a good basketball player. He's a phenomenal basketball player. But the damn shots he made is not shots he's making 2 times in a row. Hey, hell no. To fade away from behind the backboard, what are we talking about? I pull up 6 steps from behind a three-point line in front of 3 people? Hell no. I'm not allowing it. The basketball guys was with the New York Knicks in that game. But again, to your point, it could have all been avoided had they just went at Karl Anthony Towns when he had 4 fouls.
Yeah, he's been hitting some unbelievable shots. And yeah, to his credit, and to the Knicks' credit, all in general, their stars have absolutely risen to the occasion. OG Anunoby had a really good game 1. Brunson's been strong really all series long. Cat is playing like he's heard all that talk, where people have been talking about his playoff numbers versus regular season numbers, his toughness, his defense. He's made a lot of plays where he's silenced a lot of that, and I will absolutely be with you and give him credit. But yeah, that behind the backboard shot, the deep one, with under a minute left, he's hit some backbreakers to kind of put the Pistons behind the where. So it even to make it a little more objective, like Clutch Points does, we do our award predictions before the season starts. I predicted Jalen Brunson to win MVP. So I ain't got nothing against the team. I have respect for the Knicks and the players that are on that roster.
I gotta let Knicks fans know this. Knicks fans, they're
gonna cry because they slipping up all the clips and everything. Put that on. I have respect for Jalen Brunson, but he is a flopper. Cat doesn't always play the best, in playoff situations, but they are playing good basketball right now. We'll give them credit, and even to that credit, it's still only giving them wins by single-digit margins, if we're being fair. So, it's still been a competitive series either way. And, the Pistons shouldn't have anything to hang their head about. Again, it's not even over anyway, so let's keep it going.
It's Pistons in 7 at the end of the day. But I think the biggest thing here, and we'll switch gears just a tiny bit. So the thing here with the Pistons, as great as they've been playing, as up and down as they've been playing throughout the course of these games, the biggest issue in every single game, 1, 2, 3, 4, and hopefully not 5, has been the turnovers. This has been a consistent problem within the Pistons. As great as they play, somehow they still continue to shoot themselves in the foot by having these just awful turnovers. And it's not just Tobias, it's not just Hardaway Jr., it's not just Asar, it's Cade as well. And it's so sickening to watch. What do the Pistons have to do to limit these damn turnovers?
Yeah, they got to find a better way to take advantage of the double teams that Cade is seeing. They're seeing a lot of hedges where if Cade is coming off of a pick by Duren, it's either Cat or Mitch Robinson or one of the other wings. They trap him hard at the top to get the ball out of his hands. And they've been ice cold from 3 because a lot of times when he gets, trapped, he swings it over to Beasley or Hardaway Jr. or Tobias to hopefully knock down a 3 or an open shot. And they've been really cold, really for the majority of the series, unfortunately. It really just shows that they're missing Jaden Ivey a lot. They need that secondary creator that can take some pressure off of Cade. He's their best off-ball scorer, and they just, to me, don't have enough power offensively to take advantage of those situations. And even when the turnover numbers aren't necessarily high, like they definitely were last game with 17, it's also when the turnovers are happening. Like Cade, you can't dribble the ball off your foot, with the last couple possessions in the fourth quarter. You can't have a star, throwing the ball out of bounds when your momentum is swinging or when New York is starting to cook up in the fourth. The timing of it is super important as well. So, yeah, it's been really bad. That's definitely been a detriment because, that's obviously a sign of a young team, and it shows how much they need to kind of like tune up their roster to make sure that issue doesn't keep happening to the future.
Yeah, and it's like I look at these situations and I'm like, Dennis Schroeder does a great job at helping out Cade on the scoring total, and he's been playing it just immaculate in the playoff series so far, man. I mean, he pretty much won his game 2. And like with the clutch threes he was hitting and the buckets he was getting toward the end of the game, just the control of the game. This is like, a true vet presence here in Dennis Schroeder, and he's been showing out. But it does just hurt when we just don't have enough scoring, and it also hinders us. Man, it's been hurting us because bro has been shooting us out the gym. Malik Beasley. Oh, man. I ain't never seen Malik Beasley shoot this bad in my life. All season long, this has been a guy who's consistently been our anchor in terms of shooting. This has been a dude who's put us on his back because of his shooting. He's helped us on runs. He's helped us get out of slumps because of his shooting. He led the league in 3-point shooting. So damn it, him in this playoff series, kind of in a way, I think it's safe to say not showing up has really been the biggest difference maker. And I want to read something too, because I want to give everybody an idea of what this guy has been shooting like. And you can give your instant reaction when you hear these numbers, which I'm sure you probably already know. But okay, so look, let's look at this. So I'm going to go all the way back to game 1. When in game 1 of this series, Malik Beasley shot 6 for 12. Decent. 50% from the 3-point line. Not mad at that at all. Would never be upset about a 6 for 12 game from the 3-point line. Game 2, obviously, Pistons ended up winning, which is super helpful. Shot 1 for 8, 2 for 9 total in the game. 12% from the 3-point line. He finished with a total of 9 points, which is just not nearly enough, but somehow the Pistons end up still winning that game. Game 3, we have a similar performance. 2 for 10 from the 3-point line, 4 for 14 total, finished with 12 points, and the Pistons lost by 2 points. So as bad as he's playing, the Pistons are still right here in the ball game, and they're still right here. Now, game 4, which was the other day, 3 for 9 from the 3-point line, 33% from the 3-point line, 5 for 12 total, finished with 13 points. Pistons lose by literally 1 point. So the point that I'm making here is, as bad as Malik Beasley has been shooting and playing, however you want to put it, the Pistons have still been losing by just very, very small margins. So if he just has another good game where he's knocking down shots, just give me another 6 for 12. Give me even a 6 for 14, I'd take it. Just give me something on the score end. But the point is, he's usually there for us, but hasn't been there in the past few games. Is it something like the Pistons got to try and do to maybe get him out this slump?
Yeah, they got to find a better way to get some, more clear action for him. The Knicks have been playing really good in terms of their perimeter defense. They've done a good job of closing out on those vets. Tim Hardaway, Tobias, who's had some, who's I think one tough game, and then Beasley, who we're talking about now. Like, he just hasn't had a whole lot of open looks. And unfortunately for a player like him, I like Beasley a lot. I think he's very important for a young team or even a contending team. His role as a shooter is serviceable for whatever team you put him on. But when he's your second best player and he has to carry that role of your number 2 scorer, when his primary objective is more of a shooter than a driver and a creator on his own, it kind of shows how limited they can be, especially when that shot is cold. Like, they pin so much hope on his perimeter shooting, and when he's not delivering, you see how much they struggle, because the Pistons, like we said, they're a momentum team. Like, when LCA is fired up off of his 3 and he's hitting the shimmy, I don't think he's hit a shimmy one time this series. I don't think
it was literally once. It was literally once.
Yeah, that's not good enough. He has to be that emotional swing guy, and he just hasn't been enough of that yet. They got to find more consistency from him, especially with a lot of talking he's been doing on social media. He's got to find a lot better of a groove. It always seems like for the veterans, like if one guy is hot or two are hot, one of them is having a terrible game. It's never where all 3 of them are cooking and then Cade or whoever else is going along with it. I just think they got to find a better rhythm with that. I think Asar's got to be better with his passing. He's got to be more aggressive with his drives to kind of draw more attention to get Beasley open looks, because right now he's not getting the normal shots that we've seen all season, and it's really hurting the Pistons right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. And a couple more things before I let you go. Now, look, really quick, I want to bring this point up here because I've been seeing a lot of up and down from this guy. So Tobias Harris, obviously, he doesn't catch a break in this series because Stewart is not healthy. And I'm going to ask you for an update on Stu in a minute, just in case you got one. But because Stewart hasn't been healthy in this series, Tobias Harris has not gotten a break. To me, I think it was game 3. Man, Tobias Harris was out there getting cooked defensively. I mean, it was bothering me on the inside, and I wouldn't be fair if I didn't call it how I seen it. I love Tobias Harris. I'm glad he's there. He has a lot of great games. In the game we won in game 2, he really showed out. He's been a key element for this team all series long. However, he's in a very tough position because he's guarding Karl-Anthony Towns, and then on the offensive end, he still has to produce. The Karl-Anthony Towns thing, he played a lot better in game 4, but game 3 he was getting cooked. So I'm hoping that he continues the great play in game 5. However, in this difference, obviously I'm saying one was bad, one was good. Did you notice anything that was like maybe different in what the strategy was in terms of why he played better in game 4 compared to game 3?
Foul trouble killed him. He got in foul trouble really early that game, and he never found a rhythm offensively. He was definitely, not being able to play as aggressive as he normally has been on defense. We saw them go face to face in game 4, like they was about to throw it out.
Yeah.
That foul trouble really hurt him on both sides of the ball. And it didn't even look like they were like fouls where they were kind of disputable. It was just him putting himself in bad situations. Even in the last game, like he was hot. He was knocking down shots. He had 18 points for the game. Was getting really clutch rebounds. He was playing pretty good defense for the most part, but that one game in game 3, Cat was torching him. To me, I think Cat honestly has been the best player for the series, to be honest, right now.
He's been hooping, bro.
He's been playing fantastic, yeah.
It's been bothering me too because Tobias, the foul trouble, a lot of these fouls come from him not moving his damn feet. Exactly. That's been the biggest thing that I've witnessed. It's like, he's good on defense when he's there. But it's like if you get the mismatch, sometimes Karl-Anthony Towns takes advantage. Sometimes you might even see him on Brunson. But it all comes, a lot of these fouls aren't from him swatting down in the paint. These fouls are from him just not being able to move his damn feet and stay in front of the guy he's guarding. So that's what's been killing me about these foul calls is like if he beats the guy to the spot, if you stay with him and don't let him hook you a little bit on the end, then you ain't or stick your hip out, then you're gonna be straight. You're gonna avoid foul trouble because these fouls are so easily avoidable when I'm looking at Tobias Harris. But again, it just goes back to me like he's in a tough situation because he's the only one out there that's actually guarding Cat.
Yeah, Cat's done a really good job of reading defenders. He could see where Durant is backing up a little too far. Oh, you really gonna give me the space? All right, here's a pull-up 3. Oh, you gonna try to pull up or you gonna fall for this hezzy, pull up? All right, no problem. I'm gonna go right by you. He's done the same thing with Tobias, which I think he's had a little bit I think Tobias has been his best defender, but he's so big and athletic and he's very skilled when he puts the ball on the ground. And the refs have been giving him some, I don't want to say favorable whistles, but he's been giving him some looks where he puts his head down and he's dribbling through the traffic. He's getting to the free throw line and he's taking advantage of the mismatches in front of him. So again, I think he's been extremely dangerous, on both sides of the floor. He's not the best defender, but he has been really productive on the defensive side of the ball for the Knicks at that big man spot, because there was a lot of hopes that maybe him and Mitch Robinson will play together, so maybe leave some pressure off him. Cat has said, nope, I got it. He's been producing at a very high level. So yeah, he's been reading the matchups well, and he's been taking big advantage against that front court.
That's for sure, well deserved. Now I gotta ask you, because I told you I ain't gonna keep you too much longer. Any updates on Isaiah Stewart? Is he possibly coming back in this matchup for Game 5?
He's still listed as day to day. I feel like if he were done, that they probably not would have said it because you don't want to tip your hand too much to the opponent. But they've been ruling him day to day and questionable. I don't know if he's been practicing too much. I haven't been to too many of their practices over the series, but again, he's still questionable as of right now. They're not ruling out his return, and hopefully it is, as soon as Game 5, because he could be a difference maker that puts a lot more pressure on Cat, take some more of that responsibility off of Tobias to kind of just lean on him as a scorer. They really need Beef Stew a lot, especially knowing that he's been through this rebuild, that he can't be a part of that first playoff series, a postseason series for his team. It really means a lot. So hopefully this is his return coming up soon. But as of right now, he still is questionable on the injury report.
I hope so, man. We definitely need him, like you said. I'm gonna go ahead let the people know where they can find you. Shout out your socials and all of that stuff. Let them know where the vids coming through and all the content is coming through.
Appreciate you, man. Always fun being on here with you, man. Make sure y'all follow me at I am Eric Vincent. You see me going at it with Nick Twitter. That's why. That's who I am right now. You can follow me on my YouTube page as well, Top Title Detroit. I got all my content on there, post-game, pre-game pressers, warm-ups with the team, shorts, highlights, all that is on there, Top Title Detroit. And you can follow all my articles as well, my Pistons beat reporter coverage at clutchpoints.com. I really appreciate your support. Really appreciate you having me on, man. Always a good time here with you.
Of course, man. Of course. You know, you always welcome up here anytime. But no, seriously, anybody listening, man, check out his content. Follow him. It's literally how I get my Pistons updates. When I'm checking for injuries, I'm going to Eric Vincent. When I'm checking for footage on pregame practice, I'm going to Eric Vincent. When I'm checking for postgame interviews, what the hell did Bickerstaff say? What the hell did Cade say? What did Tobias Harris say? I'm going to Eric Vincent. So I'm just letting you know right now, man, this is literally where I get my information. This is where I get my Pistons info. So check him out. Go ahead, shoot him a follow so you can be updated on all your information. And I promise you, he will never back down in an argument against the Detroit Pistons. He always standing 10 toes. So you got to follow him just for that.
Always. I ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere. So look, man. I appreciate you guys for hanging, for kicking it with us. Follow me on socials as well. I am Manny Wilson. And then I'm gonna just leave y'all on a positive note here. And the positive note here is just gonna be continue to push forward, man. Keep pushing forward. Shit might get rough. Things might get rough. It might be a little rocky, but as long as you keep pushing forward, you'll get through it and you'll get to the green grass. I'm gonna leave it at that. And other than that, man, I'm out of here. We'll be back later on this week. And so on and so on and so on.